Alright guys, so our next video is going to be, we're going to build some seating for my fire pit. And I'm trying to write the plans out, but somebody's not cooperating. So this is basically going to be 8 feet by 17 inches is going to be the base, and then the backs are they're going to be total 21 inches, but 4 of that's going to be what ties into the base. So we're going to cut we're going to cut 4 for each one, and then I got 8 footers, so I don't have to cut the front and back. So we're going to need 8 at 14 inches, because you got 1.5 inches for each 2x4 and 14 inches in the middle. So we're going to need 8 of those at 14. We'll need 8 of them at 21 inches for the back supports, and then we're going to need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We're going to need just 8 footers. And then I got some decking boards that are going to go across as the seat in the back, and those should all be 8 foot, and so we won't have to cut any of those except for when we make the handrails. But for right now, we're just going to start by framing everything and getting it framed out. Alright, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take our supports here for the base, for the seat part, the bottom part. We're going to cut an angle in the back of them, and that's going to be what our back attaches to and gives us the angle of our backrest. So we're going to go 10 degrees, not too much, just a little bit of a faint angle. And so we're going to cut all those like that, and then we'll start putting everything together. What I'm going to go ahead and do next is I'm going to use 4x4s for the legs, and they're going to be 17 inches long. So I'm going to go ahead and cut those down to size. Alright guys, so there's one done, and I was thinking I was going to put another couple of legs in the middle, but this thing's solid. It's not sagging at all, so we're going to call it good. And next I'm going to finish the other one. Sorry, my chickens are going nuts. I don't know if you hear that. laying eggs over there. And so yeah, it looks pretty good. And all right, guys, just so you know, I'm getting ready to deck the second one here. And what I use on these back support braces here is these 4-inch nails, or screws I mean. And I just pre-drilled through the 2x4, and I put one through actually all the way through the 2x4 into the board to hold it. And then I put one through the other side, and then I went ahead and toe-nailed another 2.5-inch screw just to make sure. And it's real solid, but these are going to be leaning up against the rail in the house, so it's not a huge concern for me. There's not going to be a lot of weight and pressure on them. But if depending on where you put them, if that was something you were worried about, you might consider beefing up the back using some 2x6s or something, notching them out or something. But all this is 2x4s. So all right, so the next thing is to make our hand rests. So what we're going to do is we're going to come up the front here, and we're going to cut one 13 inches. So it's going to come up the face 13 inches from the bottom of the face. And then we're going to cut one 8 inches because it's 5 here, the thickness of this. And this is such a small angle to the back of these, I'm not going to worry about cutting an angle. I'm just going to cut it 8. So we're going to have a board here and a board here, and then we'll put one on top, and then we'll cap it with the deck board. So let's get to cutting. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and cut our pieces for our hand rests. So we're going to go 8 inches, and then 18.5, and then 13. So we're going to need 4 of each for each end. So we'll go ahead and get them cut. Alright, so the next thing we're going to do is make our caps out of our deck board, and we're going to dog ear the end. And so we need to figure out, we want a good overlap. So I'd say 20.5 is probably good enough, maybe 20. So let's get to it. Alright, so first thing we're going to do is we're going to cut them to 20.5. We'll get the lengths, and we'll need 4 of them, so we'll cut them down to length. Alright, so next we're going to dog ear them. And I'm probably going to take this scrap piece here first and try to figure out what kind of depth I want. So you're going to just take your miter saw to 45 degrees. And maybe not. I'm going to play around with it a little bit and see what we can come up with. So once you've played around with it and got something you like, I like that, 45 degrees is what we're going to do. And we're gonna start our cut down about 1.5 inches from the end of the board. So once you get that figured out, then you just set your stop block, and then you're just gonna cut and then flip over and then cut the other end. Really easy. Alright, so the last thing we're going to do is put our covers on our caps on the armrest. And so you're just going to center it up where it overhangs good. And then we're going to try to come into an angle underneath. Like this. And that way it gives you a nice, and no screws in the top of your armrest. So we'll get that done, and then I'll show you the finished product. Alright, so there it is, the finished product. And it looks pretty good. Just a couple of notes here. These boards are really wet, so they're really green. So I didn't leave any gaps between these deck boards really, because when they dry out they'll shrink. If you got really dry boards, then you should leave a gap. The other thing is, like I said, not really going to be a factor with me the way that I have them, because I've got up against my house, up against my deck rails. But these things are a little top heavy, a little wobbly when they're not up against something, and that's because these legs are super close together. So that back leg really needs to move to the outside. I'd say if you had them freestanding. So they're still solid. They you know, if somebody got crazy, it might tip over. Just FYI. But everything else is good. I like it. I end up using 11 2x4s and 13 deck boards, all of them 8 feet. And that's for everything, handrails or armrests and everything included. And I'm happy with it. So it cost me a little under $200 for everything. And I got some wood left over, so not even $200 for all, and that's all the wood and all the screws, everything for these two. And so I got those 2x4s and those other pieces of decking, and I might try to make something out of those to sit out here too. So, but that's going to be it for this one, and thanks for watching.